Hey friends, welcome to our weekly connection. I am Ariel, Superstar Director of Nomad Tribe, and we also have Superstar Director Maggie Hensley's group on here, Team Ohana Hala. So excited to have you guys here for the final call before the end of the year, right? Before Christmas, before all the holidays and the happenings. We know it's a crazy time of year. There are so many school activities, and I know a lot of schools are getting out this week. My kids actually go all through next week, so I don't feel that same rush that a lot of people are feeling right now. But I know a lot of people are getting ready to head out of town too, so I appreciate you taking the time to either join us live or catch the replay. And don't forget, very important thing, today is the final day for the Christmas shipping deadline for Scentsy. I know there are a lot of storms happening around the US, so if you have orders to get in, I would get them in as soon as you can. Otherwise, just like enjoy the rest of your year, right? Don't quit working your business simply because the Christmas shipping cutoff has happened. We still have 13, no, 15, 16 days left in the month. Good grief. Math is hard. I went the wrong way. And then, so we have 16 days left. And there is so much that you can do with your business. So I want to talk about that in a minute. But first, let's talk celebrations today. Who has something they want to celebrate that's happened in the last week? Yeah, Michelle. Go ahead, girl.
Incentive trip earned.
Yay! Level 2?
Level 2 this
It happened.
morning.
Yay! Congratulations! That's
I
so
really had
exciting.
it in my mind that I was not going to earn this one, so I didn't really push super hard for it. Lesson learned. Not
Yeah,
doing that again.
right? You know, I've been battling those same thoughts this season too. And I don't know what it is about this season, but I keep feeling like, okay, it's not gonna happen. No, it's gonna happen. It's not, and I keep,
Yes.
it's like an
Yep.
internal battle. But yay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Woo. Kaylin, what are you celebrating today?
Um, Level 1.
Yay, that's exciting.
So
Congratulations.
I'm technically like 200 PRV away, but I have one teamie who's about to certify, so that'll be 250, and then in-person world tour. So I already know I have level 1. I've got
Yay.
my eyes set on level 2. But yeah, just celebrating like getting out of my head from a few recent trainings I've listened to with United We Rise and then an outside program I've joined. Just feeling more hopeful,
Oh, I
more
love that.
excited. Not that I wasn't. I was very excited. I was very motivated, but finding new ways to kind of take myself out of my box.
Yeah, I love that because we get so caught up. Like when we first start our business, there's that honeymoon phase and it's great. And we have these like rose tinted glasses on, but then to keep our business going, it takes work. And that's where a lot of people fall off is because yes, it is an easy job. Yes, anybody can do it, but not everybody will. And I think that's a really small, it's a delineation that people don't make is everybody can do this, but not everybody will. It takes discipline and, finding the fun, finding the joy, and sometimes needing that reminder, that can go a long way. So I'm so glad that you found that. Okay, so I have a question for you too. Which trip are you going to take when you are in level 2, Kaylin, and which trip are you planning to take, Michelle?
So I'm trying to pick based on what would I not pay for us to go on vacation, and that would probably be a cruise because we have Mexico on our bucket list.
Okay.
The Alaska cruise stopped in Canada already, so we saw a little piece of that. And New York City, we've been there before because we're from the East Coast.
Right.
So based on that, I would do cruise, but I don't know if I have enough points to choose before all of that fills up first because I think it might go pretty quick. So we'll see.
Well, I don't know because usually if there are spots open in other regions too, it goes by points. You can choose other region trips too. And but with
Oh.
4 trips happening just in region 1, I feel like the chances are pretty good. If you're an earner, you are likely at least going to get to choose within your region which trip you want.
I didn't realize we could choose from other regions.
Yeah, if your points are high enough and if there's open spaces, then you can.
Okay. So
I've
right
had
now I
my
have
eyes
just
set on
over
Fiji.
26,000. So I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of low on points.
Well, don't count
But
yourself out though, because you never know.
okay.
I mean, you
Okay.
have to pay the difference of the buy-in, right?
Yes, we will do that.
And you
Yeah.
have to pay the difference of whatever the trip would cost if you
Right.
choose another region.
Okay.
So there would just be the cost differential, but it's totally possible to go to Monte
Oh,
Carlo or to go to Fiji if
okay.
the space permitting.
Good to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kaylin, you have your sights on Fiji then?
I did, but my
If you can do-
husband, yeah, like I that's been like it's been written on my tracker, like Fiji and Mexico. Because originally it was Mexico before I knew that I could choose Fiji. And then my husband's like, but do you really want to spend like 23 hours flying twice? I'm like, oh, not really.
Yeah,
Not
that
when like I've never left my children, and then to add like two whole extra, like
Mhm.
we just did our first sleepover on Monday night with my kids gone, and like that was huge. So I was like, well, we have to at least try these things before we can go on a trip for a week without them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
Yeah, that travel is probably the worst part about earning an incentive trip is the getting there and then the getting home. That's definitely something to keep in mind.
yeah.
Cool. Edie, we are doing celebrations right now. What are you going to celebrate in your business this week?
15 days of sales. I've had a sale every day.
Amazing.
And that I've just kept swimming with. I got bad news a week ago, Friday night, and it just kind of broke my heart, but that's okay. You just keep plugging away and doing your very best. And I'm really looking forward to all the commitments that I made to others. Like a couple businesses are having their Christmas parties, and I'm finishing getting those gifts ready to go and be delivered tomorrow. It's I'm just looking forward to some quiet time because I feel like I've just been going every day and working my business for 15 days. So I'm pleased with that.
Well, I hope you
And
do get some time to rest and grieve the loss, but then also be able to move forward and remember her.
yeah, well, the good thing in this is that I used to babysit her daughter, and her daughter grew up, and you don't always get those phone numbers once they move out of the house. And we've been on the phone 3 times so far in this period. It's just really nice to know that that friendship is still there, even though the loss occurred unexpectedly. So, it's a sad time, but Saturday was really hard. But Sunday I woke up and she wouldn't want me to be sad. She wanted me to find my happy place, and my happy place I found is with Cincy. So there you go. It kind of comes full circle and bites you every once in a while when you have a aha moment.
Yeah, it does. She would definitely want that. She was a pretty special lady, so
Yeah, you knew her too. It was just, things happen in life, and those are the things we can't control. But the things I can control, I know what I can control, and that working my business is one of them.
yeah. Well,
And
congratulations on the sale a day. That's really wonderful.
and this morning I woke up and I'm only 700 and I think $25 away from level 1. So there you
Yay! I knew you were getting close. That's so exciting.
Well, and let me tell you, last night I went out and I'm like, when do they count world tour? and, and so that will even put me closer.
Yeah.
But I want to make sure that I have that comfort zone. It doesn't mean I'm going to try to strive for more in January, but I've got a few leads. I will tell you, and it's thanks to being in this group and in the other collective. My niece on Tuesday morning woke up to her 3-year-old daughter unwrapping every Christmas present and finding a Sharpie and deciding that she wanted to decorate the new couch to all the walls, to all the dressers. And she said, I have no idea and she just posted, what a morning, you could feel the mama stress.
Mhm.
And so my husband was heading over, and they live relatively close to my in-laws, was heading over, and I said, I'm going to message her and tell her you're going to hang it on the door because she's at work. And she posted this morning that it's coming off the couch, it's coming off the walls, counter cleaner for the win. And
Yes.
she said, what do you want can I pay you for this? And I said, absolutely not. And she knew what I said. I just need to help you because I know what the solution is. And she is one that has not, I don't want your counter cleaner. And I'm like, with kids, you're going to want it. Trust me.
Oh, I'm so glad it worked for her though.
Yeah. But it's those little things that it's that generosity point that Cincy tells us to be, and hearing how everybody has helped other moms in that situation. I don't have kids, and I can't imagine waking up and going, it's work to wrap those presents and you want that pretty picture. And I just can't imagine how she felt. So,
My gosh, and then having all that Sharpie, all that artwork.
yeah. And it's nice squiggly lines. I mean, she was, and she does a lot of restorative work with antiques and painting them. So I mean, I'm sure it's just it was a total frustration point. But
Yeah.
I brightened somebody's day just with a counter cleaner.
Fantastic. And it's so cool that you had the opportunity to do that and then it wasn't scoffed, right? Because oftentimes we're like, hey, I have a solution that works, and people are like, yeah, okay, sell me your product. But that's not why, right? Like we have a solution.
We do. And I've told my husband's side of the family is heavy wine drinkers, and we've been over there, and my mother-in-law has white carpet, and it's like always a rush to find the soda water and then the whole regime she goes through, and it stops the process. And I'm like, man, you guys, if I would have known, I would have brought my counter cleaner. And they just all laugh at me because they know it's my small business. It's like, oh, here she goes again. And it's like, I got you. And maybe, who knows? She posted today, and who knows? Maybe a few extra people will want that on hand for their party fouls this holiday season.
Well, and gosh, I might even carry like a travel size, make your own travel size counter cleaner for your purse.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
listen, let me give it a try.
That's a fabulous, fabulous idea for each one of us, just as we go from thing to thing to go, oh, let me do this. Let me try.
Right, because like, what if it's your animal or your kid who makes the mess? Then you feel badly. You're like, let me clean this. I've got it.
Yes, I got it. And it's going to smell better than what you're using.
It's not gonna be these noxious fumes.
Yep.
Cool.
So, it's just, sorry, I was helping another customer. That was my 15th, myself for the day. I was helping another customer. That's why I was late. But, I liked what I heard. It's finding the little joy in the things that you're doing for others during this season.
Yeah.
And that truly, you can let, who do you call, what's your evil person's name? Priscilla?
No, that's yours, Patrice.
Patrice is yours. You can let her win, or you can find joy in the moment. And I decided in December that it was 30 days of joy. And there you go.
I like that a lot. That's a really great way to carry the spirit and not get overwhelmed and bogged down with the stress and frustration.
I do have one question that I'm going to ask right now, just based on getting your text message about the news article. And I know it's a little early, but I cannot remember how transition goes when customer service is closed. Do they roll out everything January 1st or January 2nd when they return?
It'll be January 1st when all of the products are switched over on the website, just like any other month. The support is going to be super limited though.
Okay. I could not remember last year, and it's with that. I'm so excited for the Mickey warmer. I'll just tell you that. So, I was panicking going, oh no support when I read that this morning. And I'm like, I don't remember how it was last year, but more than likely I didn't have any orders. So I didn't have to worry about it. I just had to worry about what I needed.
And anything that needs to be fixed, they will retroactively fix any issues that arise during that time, with the support being, home office getting to enjoy the holidays and stuff. So,
they're the only company that I know of locally that closes the whole week. So I'm glad to be part of a company that does that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I'll let someone else go. I've talked enough. Love you.
Well, the other gals did already say their celebrations. My celebration is I was in a funk this week, and I don't know, I just felt squirrely and like I couldn't get anything done, and I still had all of my stuff out from my event last week. So I have mostly cleaned it up, put things away, and then my shelves were finally installed on Monday. And so like I finally have this vibe going, and it made me happy to kind of decorate. Some of my stuff is being used for Christmas decorations because my Harry Potter stuff, but I have a space and it feels like me, right? It feels welcoming. And so it makes me want to come into my office and not look at the floor that I still haven't cleaned. I can just look at this. So that's my celebration. It's just something so small and simple that it's just that inner joy and peace, right? Which sometimes we forget just how important those things are. If we're not finding the small things that make us happy, it can staunch a lot of us wanting to move forward and continue with that discipline and consistency in our businesses, right? I'm sure you guys have all experienced that.
I was gonna say I'm the same way. Like I walk in and I just don't look down right now. I don't look anywhere. I just kind of look at the ceiling because my office has been packed slash half unpacked between like several events in November and October, and then I started unpacking because I didn't have any more events scheduled, and now I have one scheduled for this weekend. So I'm like trying to repack everything. It's just been, I'm ready to clear everything out and just empty everything.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Fallon, welcome. We are just finishing celebrations. Do you have anything that you want to celebrate this week? We have a couple incentive level earners. We've got Edie, who's had a sale every day. I'm celebrating my shelves being up. Anything?
I got laundry done. Woo!
Yes, I saw that weird picture that you posted on Danny's post, and so I'm really
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. That was a lot of work. And I've gotten rid of, I want to say it's 12 Scentsy boxes now of stuff in my house. So every time something comes into my house, I am now putting stuff and getting out. So it's leaving. Yeah. But that's been nice.
That's a big deal. That's awesome. I love that. And that purge feels good. You know, it's just that time of
Yeah.
year.
And half of it's laundry.
Yes.
Lots to do.
Yes. Love that. This
Are you talking like a, oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to ask Fallon, are you talking like a scent of the month box every time or like a flash sale haul box?
Usually of them, they like majority of them have been like when you get like 6 or 7 warmers and it gives you that bigger box. It's those size. Yeah.
Oh, that's motivating.
I highly recommend. It's so freeing.
It's so freeing. That's so funny. It is motivating. Which actually brings me to the super fun thing I wanted to talk about. With the shipping cutoff being today, I know a lot of people are still pushing for those orders, making sure people have them on time. It doesn't mean you can stop working your business. So there's going to be different ways throughout the rest of the month that we can continue to work our business. As consultants, don't forget, we have early access coming on Monday for the Bring Back My Bar. And then the Valentine's collection, the wax collection. I don't know if you guys saw that. The descriptions sound really good, except for the coconut one. We're going to have to see about that. Because I just, gross.
I'm the same, but on end of month when they smelled it, whoever the lady was, I can't remember her name. She said that it was not a very strong coconut. She said the coconut haters might actually like it. So I'm going
Annie,
to.
right? Pretty sure it's Annie.
I think so, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
But
so
I'm a no coconut too, and I'm gonna go ahead and try it.
Okay, we're gonna give it a chance. That's the only fair thing we can do, right? So I'm going to plan to buy those, which will help PRV a little bit, right? But also help my business because I am slowing down in the traditional business sense, but it's also in part to work smarter to start the year off well, right? To start off with a plan. And I actually found this really cool resource in the workstation. Let me see if I can share. How do you screen share? How do I? One participant. Okay, that's what I want to do. I want to share this. Hi, I'm new here, like I don't share things very often. Okay, can you see the one thing? The make a plan? Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. So I was just looking, thank you so much. I was just looking up the just taxes and plans and budgets and like things like that to see what resources are already available so we don't have to reinvent the wheel. And this one is pretty comprehensive. I was really surprised. I don't know how long it's been in there. I forgot to look at the date, but it's pretty rad how to make a plan, create your yearly business plan, which this is the perfect time to do it because you can look back on what you did this year. It doesn't matter when this year you started. You have at least a couple weeks under your belt up to several years, right? So you can look back at what you did do, what you didn't do, what you wanted to do, what didn't work, what you loved, all those things, and use it as you're going through something like this. So it talks about your sales and commissions, your recruits and team promotions, marketing, events, awards, leadership, a budget, and the review of the yearly plan. So it talks about what your mission statement is, why, all your sales and commissions, like your projected, your goals are in the black, but your actual are in the red. So it gives you a chance to plan out, okay, this is what I did last year from these kind of events. This is what I would like to do this year. And shoot, you could even probably add another one of those to be what you did do 2022, like maybe have it side by side, what you want to do 2023, and then what you actually do. So it has all the things like your sales, your commissions that you want to earn, your recruits, anything that promoted, marketing goals, because so many of us are purely based on social media now, right? A lot of us don't do events much anymore. And if we do, maybe like a home event, maybe not a vendor event style, but there's so many ways that you can do it. But marketing is a really awesome, there are so many free advertisements as well, so many free things, free options, but this could be a really great focus if you solely run your business online. Events, awards, leadership, all these things. Like how cool is this? Team building activities, service projects, get-togethers, etc. So like on here, anybody who's local to us in Arizona, we get together once a month just for a fun hangout, whether it's a craft night, just chatting, doing hands-on training. So we can make sure to plan that. Plan your budget. You guys put your CEO hat on and make sure you have a budget and make sure you work your best to stick to that budget. I know it's so hard because oftentimes I remember when I first started, I thought, okay, I need all the business supplies. I need all of, like the testers, the catalogs, every type of catalog. Oh, those branded pens, I need those. That's a cool purse. That's a cool hat. Sunglasses, yes. And I kept spending versus what do I actually need that's going to run my business to help me turn a profit to then be able to buy the things. So I really want to encourage you to not just buy things because they're cool. Okay, learn from Ariel's mistakes. And then review of your yearly plan and then notes. So I just thought that was a really cool resource already made. And if you have something else in mind, you want to tweak some things, use this as a template. You don't have to use this exact thing, but use it as like a foundation where you can, okay, say, hey, this is the plan. This is the anchor plan I'm going to stick to for 2023. And whenever you're questioning things, maybe you're not sure where you want to go, come back to this plan and say, okay, this is what my goal was. And here's where I want to be. So as long as I stick to this, and then break it down. That's like a whole other in-depth thing, to be able to break it down step by step. But I encourage you to do that because when we have this overall, like this overarching goal, sometimes it can feel daunting. So break it down into quarters. I love breaking it down into those 90-day segments, right? So you have this 90 days, I'd like to do this. And then within that, you can do the 30 days. So you break it down into smaller bite-sized chunks to be able to manage it. So like, what were some things as you were planning for 2022, what were some things that you guys did to get your mind right, to kind of set your business up for success? And did you keep those things going along the way?
I'll start. Early January, I had a coaching call with my mentor slash my sponsor slash director. And she kind of talked me through the coaching questions, and she explained about like setting monthly goals, small, tangible monthly goals. So like how much PRV, how many recruits, how many new clubs, things like that. For the first 5-6 months, I kept up with it. Whether or not I hit those goals, which I hit probably I don't know, 40% of them. And then they progressively got more throughout the year because I wanted to show myself that I can grow from, a 2000 PRV goal in February as opposed to 3000 PRV goal in June and 4000 in November. Then I kind of fell off of that. So I think like you're saying, having the 90-day goals might help me better for this coming year because I can have quicker deadlines to review rather than, okay, here's my monthly goals. And then I'm going to review in 12 months when I'm no longer thinking about the same goals. And so kind of like reevaluating those goals every 90 days might be more helpful for me personally.
Awesome. I love that you had those plans though, and you can reflect, because even if you didn't hit your goal, that's still data that you have that you can use. Like, okay, here was my goal. I didn't do X, Y, and Z. How can I adjust that next time?
Well, and I kept seeing myself put, 0 new recruits, 0 new clubs, 0 new fundraisers, whatever it was that I didn't hit, or 1000 PRV out of my 2500 goal. And I kept seeing that in this notes as I scroll through to get to the new month and telling myself, wow, I really overestimated myself. Wow, I really can't do this. Wow, I'm failing at this. And so then I found myself not going into that note to keep up with it because I thought like, I need to get that out of my head. If I'm not meeting these goals, I need to just focus and do as much as I can. But I think that having something written, I'm very pen and paper. As much as I like having digital on me all the time, I'm very pen and paper. And I think it's just more motivating for me to have something that I can erase and change and see movement. So, I don't know if that all makes sense. And
Yeah, it does. Thanks for sharing. Michelle? I saw your hand raised.
Can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, so like at the beginning of 2022, you set up your goal. You had these, these ideas in mind that you wanted to do to complete. Did you stick with them? What helped you stick with them? And maybe what would you change next time?
So what motivates me a lot sounds really, really simple and stupid, I think, but I do a word of the year and it really motivates me. For 2 years in a row, I've picked a word and I've stuck with it. This year I kind of fell off, like around springtime, I personally fell off. Like my word for the year was intentional. And personally, I think I stuck with it until springtime and then I kind of fell off. But during that time that I stuck with it, I actually completed a half marathon, my first one ever. And then after I completed that, I kind of now I just do the treadmill just to do it and say I did it. So I kind of fell off. And then business wise, I stuck with it up until the Alaska trip. And then I just got lazy after I got home. And that's where I told myself, well, I'm not going to earn the incentive trip, yada, yada, yada. So I really, during the time I stick with my word of the year, it really helps me stay on track with what I need to do. Because I remember in my head, I need to be intentional with what I'm doing. Don't just go to the desk and mark off my tasks because I'm a pen and paper person. That's what motivates me. So I need to start thinking of a new word and stick with it the whole year.
Well, so I think it's really important to note that you were honest with yourself just now. You're like, hey, I got lazy.
It is.
I was just doing things to do things.
Yeah.
And that's really important to know because that's still data, right? And I think also don't marry yourself to a word. If you start the year off and you're like, this is the word for me, but halfway through, you're in a different season, your life shifts, and maybe you need a different word for the second half. Maybe the first half, you were like, yes, this got me through. And now you're like, well, here we go. Different route, different season, different route, like the different word. And I want you to be okay with being able to change that because yes, the word of the year is awesome. I do the same thing. Like I had 2 this year. I've talked about them probably ad nauseum. It's consistency and discipline. And I might continue with those because sometimes I was lazy. So be okay with changing, be okay with continuing, be okay with things not turning out how you thought, but also be honest. So I
I
really
like that.
appreciate that you were honest about that. That's because that's probably the hardest part, is admitting to ourselves, like, hey, I sucked at that, and here's why.
Yes.
I just
Yes.
didn't wanna.
I like that.
Yep.
Be okay with having to change my word.
Yeah.
I like that.
And don't hold so much pressure over yourself. Give yourself grace.
I pressure myself too much with everything in life.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Be like the new bread recipes you try. Be okay to change, you know?
Good one.
Edie or Fallon, do you guys want to share anything that you did at the beginning to help kind of shape 2022? If it worked, what you'd change?
I'll go. One of the things, since I had only been into it 9 months, was to start applying the resources that we have at our fingertips a little bit better. So my first thing was, because I loved your scent crates, was to develop my own. And even though there's only 3 consistent customers that love them and the feedback's really great, that was a good, unlike having the yearly big stuff, I decided to go monthly and review monthly this year and just see how things went and ask myself at that point in time, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? One of the things, and I love the theme here, my intent was to, for those that wanted to share their birthday, send out a little birthday message. And I was good, and something happened in the summer and it fell off the charts. So it's been 6 months of probably a few customers going, well, where's that thing? So again, reviewing that was yesterday. It was like, maybe I just did my system work? Because it was hard. I had several areas where they had put their birthday. So again, it's just a quick, easy fix. In the quiet time between Christmas and New Year's, is just to go out to my VIPs again and say, hey, I want to send you a little something for your birthday. This will be the only place I'll be taking your info from. So, drop me. And if I don't have your address, DM me, because a lot of people said I wanted it, but then I would send out, because I thought this will be a good way to start communication. Hey, how are you? I'm so glad it's your birthday month. Just need an address. And then I got ghosted. So I think just trying it one more time and just saying what I get and letting go, because you get caught up in, well, why aren't they responding? A goal of mine was to encourage my members, since I don't need to, or my customers, since I don't need the rewards, to open personal shopping links. It's sometimes very overwhelming to manage, but I have several out there. And what I found interesting, that the common thread is that they all want the air purifier at the discounted rate. So I've got a lot of those, and yes, they take that. You have to have patience, because some months they have a lot to do, and some months they don't. Looking back, and this month it's all come. You say it takes 3 months for them to click, sometimes 6. This week I've gotten 3 messages about club, just by kind of putting it out there. Just with saying, hey, you're ordering this bar a lot. Don't you want to save 10% because you're doing the 6 bundle, and so, and then you don't get anything. So it's, again, just, it's remembering, and that's, I think, tough when you're first starting out, remembering that they have to have time just to digest what you're feeding them for it to resonate and have something click. It's just been really, to me, it's just been a whole new year of learning. But I think because I work on Tuesdays, so I never get to go. I go to the Tuesday training a week later when it's posted, and it's not interactive, so it's just listening while I'm working my business. But I think going out and finding YouTube and other resources, just to get ideas when that non-inspirational point, when you hit that wall, like, now what can I do differently? I'm like right now, I'm currently rethinking once more about how to do my VIP group. And my focus since I started was to build a community. So I'm trying to find a good balance that they like between Cincy posts and just getting to know them. So my first experiment was last week with this or that. I do a morning Cincy, this or that, and then in the evening, I just did an off the wall one, and it really boosted engagement because I picked Rip and Aquaman as their choices. And it was just really surprising how many people wanted to do an opinion on that. And I think we forget that our VIP groups, I need to welcome them into my home like they were at my front door, and just not on the screen once a week or whenever I go live. They need to know that, hey, I wonder what Edie's got going today, so that if it's not popping up on their feed, and it's not always going to be Cincy, because some days when we have, and I always rethink this, thinking off the top of my head right now, right at this point where we get quiet with the limited time offers, because I feel like I'm just shoving down their throats. Cincy, 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 look what's coming. And so it's that perfect timing so that they know that things are going to come up better. But it's just work. So I'm feeling really good about my VIP group. It's just, I think that, and I've listened to a lot of words being said, and I guess one of the things that I always have in the back of my mind that I don't share with everyone, that it's progress, not perfection. So I'm always kind of, what's the progress? Is the progress working? Where can I tweak it? And just knowing that I'll never be perfect, that things you can't get stale in your business, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I love that. Thanks for sharing, Edie. Kaylin had a good comment in, do you want to talk about that? Is that where you're going to you were raising your hand? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I was trying to figure out how to unraise my hand. What did I say? Oh, my husband. Oh,
The club.
I said a lot of things.
Laundry.
Yeah, one of my customers, she was my boss when I started Scentsy. So she knew full well. I talked about it all the time at work to her on Facebook. She's followed and liked every single post and commented. I know that she knows this. And she commented and said, "Oh, I didn't know you could get laundry in club. I thought it was just for wax." And I'm like, are you kidding me? And she's just, and I was like, yep, sure can. And she doesn't use the wax. She doesn't use warmers. She just likes the fresh and the pods and mini fans. And so like, she doesn't shop often. And I wanted to tell her, like, you can get your pods in there. You can get your fresh in there. You can get your whiffs. Like, those are your 3 things that you actually use. And you can get all of them there and not have to worry about, and it's cheaper shipping. Like, she only ever shops when it's on the discount. I'm like, this is literally built for you. A discount with cheaper shipping. Come on.
So that's such a good reminder. I wrote it down on my board because we talk so much about the always get my bar, because that is such a huge perk of it. We oftentimes forget that some people don't use wax, or maybe they use the other products and they don't know that they can get discount. Just, how did Maggie phrase it the other day? It was the forever coupon. You get a forever coupon when you spend $30 or more, 1, 2, or 3 times a year. No, every 1, 2, or 3 months is what I meant. You guys don't ask me to do math in public, but this is another reminder of talking about that forever coupon that we have available for our customers. People are always asking us about discounts and best deals. Yeah, you have the buy 5 get 1 free with the wax. Or what else do you need? What else do you use? Do you have an air purifier already and you need that filter every other month? Perfect. Add it in. Add some pods in there too. And then they can work toward getting the other discounts, right? But like forever coupon. That's gonna be, maybe that'll be my 2023 phrase. Forever coupon. Awesome.
I had raised my hand for a different question, but I don't want to distract from the current line of conversation. So whenever I have a random opinion, I would like from you guys.
Cool. Fallon, did you want to tell us about 2022, how it started, how it's shaping up? Do you have any input?
Oh my goodness. Mine is not like super inspirational, that's for sure. It's so
But it's
I needed to
real.
it is. It is. It's one of those seasons where like life has slowed down and I have to put my business second. And so really it was just about keeping the joy in my business while I'm taking a step back, because it is so easy the second you take a step back to hate your business and resent it. And so this year was really about finding joy. So I made sure to put every single year I do the same thing, the words, but I also go one step further and do words, and then also my vision board. Now my vision board needs to be more specific this year. I actually saw a way that somebody does it that I'll have to share in the group. But basically it's like, I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up later. Anyways, it's a very specific board versus what I have right now, which is very like generalized. These are my 5-10 year goals. This is my 3-year goal, whatever. But my board needs to be more specific, especially for Scentsy, because it needs to be measurable. And if it's not measurable, it's not going to help. So this year I found the joy back in my business and I'm able to work my business more. And now I'm finding the flow of letting go and making room for my business again. And like specifically letting other people clean my house so that I can have 6 hours to just work my business. And yeah, getting people to take care of my kids so that I don't have to do it 24/7. But like doing that kind of stuff so that I can build my business in. But I did not do that in 21 going into 22. And that shows because I didn't have a way to track. I did not have a specific goal of how many people I wanted, my sales goals, none of that. So this year I'm going into it very differently.
Yay, I love that. I can't wait to see the board. Because there were a couple years ago where a couple years in a row I would do the vision boards, I'd get the magazines, beg, borrow, and steal from my neighbors. I wouldn't steal. That's a lie. But I would beg and borrow to have magazines so that I could cut them out, or I would print pictures off. But it's almost daunting to me because it doesn't have like a plan.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. So I feel like a lot of people do it weird. I don't do magazines. I go on Canva and I make one page and I put the things that if I look at that, it reminds me of why I do my business. Nothing else. Like, it's like, oh, if I look at that and I see like a prairie with a beautiful house, that sparks something in me that I'm like, I want that. So I need to work my business. Most people put it on like their small goals too. I need inspiration. I don't need anything else. My game plan needs to be separate from my vision board, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yes.
Because the plan is definitely necessary in our businesses.
Yeah. Backtracking just a little bit. We were talking about planning, doing 12-month, breaking it down to 90 days and 30 days. Guys, don't forget the resources we have. It's the 5x5 daily checklist, which will help you in that month goal, right? Like how many weeks of the month did I do that 5x5 checklist? So that's even in a smaller bite-sized chunk. But also for those who just want that $150 paycheck, you want to sell 600 PRV a month, we have the 3 open party plan. So if you need your commissions to be at least $150 every month, follow the 3 open party plan. It's the your follow-up with your customers party, the somebody else is the host party. It can be a fundraiser, a customer, whoever, and the product specific party where you're just promoting, okay, like here's this product, I'm putting in an order for this product. And that's what you do. And usually we base it around like the warmer of the month. So, 3 warmers of the month and an accompanying 6-pack of bars. And that usually gets you there depending on the price point of the warmer. But that is such a simple plan to be able to follow and replicate in your business and share with your teams and teach them, okay, you need $150 a month. This is the plan. It's a solid foundation that goes along with 5x5 checklist. So don't forget, we've got those. Cool. Kaylin, what was your question? Advice? Something?
So one thing that I was thinking about after the Tuesday call last week, I forget who was speaking, but she was talking about reflecting and being ready for like next year and like getting rid of the things that didn't work, adding things that you want to try, that kind of thing, and continuing the things that did work. So I had thought about possibly like sending a survey to my customers, and I didn't know if that was something that's like good. I typically get, like, when I did a customer care survey to say like, fill this out so that I can make sure that I'm sending you the information you want to send, so that I could tag them in Project Broadcast. I had like 15 people do that. And now I have it as part of my follow-up for new customers, and I have a few new customers who have done it too. So I thought about sending out a survey just to everybody in my Project Broadcast saying, thank you so much for supporting my business this last 2 years. As we go into 2023, I want to make sure that you are, seeing the things you want to see, or, if they want to do a birthday club, if they want to do Son of the Month club, that way, like, I can specifically, like Edie was talking about, get their name attached to, yes, I want something for my birthday. Yes, I want to do the $5 whatever Son of the Month club, because I'm not getting takers on those kind of things from like regular posts. But I thought maybe because the people that would do it aren't on my VIP group, or they're not following me on Instagram, that kind of thing. Like, have you done a survey? Has anybody done a survey?
Yes.
I personally love receiving surveys and be like, let me tell you my opinion on this. But it's not that kind of survey. It's more of like, what do you like? And even if you don't have a club, if you had a club, would you like to continue receiving gifts for being a club member? Like, that way it kind of tells them, oh, wait, you send gifts for clubs? Like, let me look more into that.
I really like this. So my issue was I have really shitty follow when it comes to something like that. I have really great intentions and I just fail to follow through almost every time. And it's because I forget about it. I don't make it a priority. I don't like write it down somewhere visible, but I love the idea of doing that, because within that, you could tag them specifically for Project Broadcast to receive specific messages. So you could ask, hey, are you a Disney fan, Harry Potter fan? Do you like spicy, woods, whatever? Do you like flash sales? So you could already have those tagged and ready to go. Are you a club subscriber? So you could have like a myriad of options for them to choose from. And then when you export that data, you can upload it as a CSV into Project Broadcast and it auto tags them. I know that's a lot of what there's a lot of things I just said. Or you can just auto tag, but the possibilities there are amazing if you're going to follow through. You could also do, if you have an email service, so like I use Flowdesk, I could also create specific groups, so essentially similar tags in Flowdesk, and like, okay, I have an awesome Disney licensed product opportunity. Not everybody loves this, but my Disney people will, so I've tagged them as Disney. I'm going to make sure that they see this. So there's a lot of great opportunities there if you're going to have that follow through.
What would be like, I don't know, and this is for everybody, anybody, if you like limited to only like 5 important questions, like, I feel like I started making one just so I could get it all out and then kind of pare it down later, but it's at like 10 questions already. Like, what's a good number? What would be too many questions to ask them about?
Are they mostly like they can choose ABC, or are they need to write something?
Nope. The only one they have to write was their name. And then like, even for birthday, like if you want to receive something for your birthday month, it's like a drop down. So all they do is pick the month and day on a drop down. But then most of them is check boxes. So they could select one or many, and then a couple of like select one only kind of thing.
I would say 10 is like a solid number, as long as, like, in my opinion, it should take them less than 2 minutes to do, because after that, their attention span's like, I'm done. At least I know me, and I'm that survey taker. So I'm your worst case scenario. I will open it and I'll be like, yeah, that looks like work. No.
Honestly,
Okay.
I did that yesterday with a survey. So same, like I like, there's so many questions I want to know the answers to. But looking at how I take surveys, like,
Okay.
Ariel, can I hop on for a minute and tell you something I learned at FSR?
yeah.
I was talking to the gentleman about, I went to the email training, and with everything society has been through with COVID, just going to throw that in there because he did. people's attention span have dropped. And it's been a goal of mine with the monthly newsletter that Cincy sends out for all of us, is he said you have 3 sentences. And if you don't catch them in those first 3 sentences, they're going to delete. So even 5 questions might be too much. You know what I'm saying? Just to me, you're going to have to test the waters to see what that attention span number is. 5 may be good, 5 may be bad, but I found it interesting, even when I post and I want to get long, 3 sentences. And sometimes I have to really back down on my thoughts just to get what's important and what's noise. I was just going to add that. I thought that was an interesting statistic he gave the group of us standing there.
That's a really awesome point. You know, something you could ask on your survey, would you like a more customized customer experience? And that could be a drop down. And just say, I'll send you another form if you want a more customized experience with me.
I'm also highly in the camp of like understanding that your clients will definitely be more of who you are. Like that's most likely how it's going to be. So if you would do your survey, they most likely would, but I would keep it solidly within. Also, making sure that they don't feel like you're taking and not giving anything for that too, because that's apparently another motivator for humans, is if they feel like there's no reason for them to do it or there's no benefit for them to do it, and instead it's only benefiting you, they're not gonna be about it.
So like, hey, I'm going to send you some happy mail once you fill this out.
Yeah. It's a little extra work, but it's like, it'll make more people more engaged because there's a reason that they're able to do it, or a purpose for doing it.
This has inspired me. I think I'm going to do this. And then if they want a more customized, detailed customer experience with me, then they'll get the big survey.
Yeah. And I have that customer care form, which is like the bigger survey. But like these ones are more like asking, do you like being able to pre-order special launches with me? Pick, pay, and skip the line in parentheses, like yes through Google form, yes through text or email, or no. Like very basic. And I have several people who use that option, but then that doesn't apply to everybody, but it kind of puts it in their brain, in my opinion, of, hey, I get that option. Yes, I would love to do that.
Will you
Does that
make
make
sure,
sense?
will you share screenshots with me when you're done of your questions? Because I really like that.
I was going to ask actually, as my last question about it, would any of you be willing, like if I can email it to you, to go through and look and just give me feedback? Like you could fill it out if you want, you can copy it. I don't even care. But just to have some like other consultant feedback.
I'll do it.
Put your email and I'll email it to you guys today or when I'm done with it.
Yeah, honestly, I think this is one of the funnest things about our community is like, okay, yes, you can get different perspectives to see how we'd all do it differently. I think Fallon's feedback is awesome. Like the people who are going to fill this out are likely similar to you, but also being able to
There's
like
those of us who are Ariel's and I. We're just gonna delete it.
make it,
Sorry. Okay.
you know. So I love that though. Seriously though, I'm in a coaching group and she's like, I'm giving away $100 gift card to somebody who fills this out by tonight. And I was like, awesome. So I started going in and I was like, just too much. It's not worth $100. Goodbye. Because it was only a chance at $100. It wasn't guaranteed. But if you're going to guarantee sending me a happy mail thing, sure, I'll do it. Happy mail from Ariel. That's so fun. Confetti included.
I thought you just called yourself Marielle, and I was like, that is so cheery, and Merry Christmas to you too.
This week I'm Marielle.
Never.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so as a tangent but related, anytime I introduced myself growing up, I had to get away from saying I'm Ariel because, oh, Marielle, because everybody thought I was introducing myself as Marielle. Hi, my name is Ariel. So I had to get away from I'm Ariel. I'm Ariel.
Yep. It's the on name.
Yes. My name is Ariel.
Oh,
So anyway,
God.
just like that's fun. Little backstory for my childhood.
That's okay. I'm still called Falcon occasionally. So
Ah, Falcon. That's so
Makes total
fierce. You know what? That feels like a Power Ranger name. Falcon.
yeah, right. And it didn't help that we were what is it? The Falmouth Falcons. So I was Fallon the Falmouth Falcon in elementary school. So no thanks. No thanks.
Okay. Then I will cross that off of my list of things to joke about.
Thanks. Thanks so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I just don't want to trigger you, you know?
Just bring back elementary school Fallon.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, we have like 4.5 minutes left. Is there anything you guys want to talk about before the end of the year? That make a plan document is available in the workstation. So I would encourage you to take a look at it. I'm going to upload it into the tribe as a file. But tag your teams, like tell them to go look at the workstation because that's a really great outline for anybody who wants
Truth.
to.
I'm really impressed, honestly.
Same. I opened it and I was like, I kept scrolling. I was like, wow, I didn't know this
I already-
existed.
And
I
they did
already
the work.
printed it out.
Oh, you're smart. I should just do that for my phone.
I just printed it so that I don't forget about it. And then I'll do it digital later. But I do have one more question for you guys. Sorry, I'm so chatty today.
No, apologize.
For Bring Back My Bar early access, or just regular access if you don't do early access, how many samples? I was thinking of like my top 6 or maybe top 10 felt samples. I don't want to overdo my work for me. How many do you guys send to your customers? And then who do you decide to send it to?
I've done it differently in years past. This last time, I don't even
Yeah.
think I bought this sampler pack. But in previous years, I would send a survey like, hey, tell me which 6 you would like to smell. And then I would have them made. So something else you can do is hire out somebody to make samples for you. Then your time is not wasted. I would recommend that. But then also, I don't know. I think I waited until I got the surveys back to see which ones I needed to actually make samples of. But if I'm going to have my assistant do it, I'll just have her do like those small felt circles and have her do like literally two cubes of each will make a lot of samples.
So many.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
It makes like
So-
40, 50 samples.
Yeah. So like,
That's how I did with the 3 that we got from SFR.
yeah. Well,
The
and then
virtual
if
people.
you book any parties, you can have those remaining 6 cubes as incentives for hosts. And they get the deluxe sample. And you can even just do like a 6-pack deluxe sample for them. So you're not having to do all 25 fragrances, but like, hey, choose your 6 samples. You're going to get a deluxe sample with having a party link open with me this month. You're welcome.
And you send a whole, like the whole 25 set to the hostesses?
Only if you want to. I would just do 6 or 10.
Okay. Because I bought the little mini tester things, and I got the little chocolate melter with the pourer. And so I was mostly so that I could have testers to like provide as a little extra party, but also so that I can share with my team because a lot of them can't afford the whole bundle. And so then I do like the $15 for a little tester set, and it's like a half cube tester.
Yep.
I didn't know like that also maybe would be good because then I just pour it.
What did you guys type in to get that planning for next year thing?
I think
Make
I
a plan.
do a plan. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
Under training.
are just like these little food containers. They're freaking cheap. I still have some from when I got them like 3 years ago. I'm pretty sure I got 1,000 or something ridiculous. But there's 100 in here. And so I used to do the same thing with my team as I would make samples. We would divide and conquer. I no longer have the capacity to do that for my team, but they're just little cups. Souffle portion cup. It's 0.75 ounce. I don't know if that helps you, but like bulk. And then rather than buying those small testers on Amazon, because those are a little bit more expensive, that's what I would do. And I could fit a whole cube in each of these. So you could break it down a little bit too. Where was I going with that?
Good question.
Oh, the math to share with your team. Oh, I did that a long time ago. So you divide it by 8. If everybody gets 1 cube, just divide it by 8 and then add shipping. And I'm pretty sure I just ate the cost of the supplies since I was going to continue to use them for my business. That was just a write-off for me. But just divided it. But if they can buy it, or if they can go in with another teammate, I mean, that gets them some PRV. So that's another reason I stopped doing it, because like if they want it, I want to encourage them to get PRV and maybe figure out how they can go to their customer base and say, hey, you have early access. Are there any on these lists that you want? And then you can sell some of them. You know what I mean? So there's different ways you can do it. But I would recommend not offering all of the cents to everybody, letting them pick like 6, maybe 12 if they want to do a party link and they can get a bigger deluxe sample. But it's, what is your time worth, and are you hiring somebody to help you make the samples, and what is going to be your return with making these? Those are really important questions to keep in mind that past Ariel has learned from.
And Ariel, I will say that the last one you said is, what is your return? I've done the last 2 bundles I was more successful when I first started, and it was, I let them pick the bars that I would order, and then they would get a sample surprise in the month than I did by getting all 25. And then asking them in a job form, what would you like, blah, blah, blah. I open up, I did a couple of options just like you had suggested. And the return was better when I just posted the information and said, I'm ordering, I'm going to do the 6-pack. So I pushed the bundle and help me pick 6 cents. And those of you that participate, I didn't word it that way, but who responded would get to sample it along with me.
Yeah. And maybe something I might do different this time too, thinking along those lines, is when I get my customer mail ready for December to send out, maybe I'll make sure to include something with a QR code. Fill this out to pick your samples. I don't know. I'm going to think about that. Or maybe I'll send a project broadcast, getting ready to send samples. Which do you want to smell? We're going to think about that.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. We're going to process this one. Okay, guys, we are after the hour. Sorry. And thank you. I thought we had a lot of good ideas here. I hope you guys have a really great rest of your year. Make a plan, talk with a buddy, talk with your sponsor, talk with your director, superstar director, somebody, and make a plan. Figure out how to break it all down. Figure out what's going to work best for you and your business, and then help your teams do the same if you have anybody. But find somebody who's willing to help you out, be accountable, or maybe sit down with you so you actually do it.
Yikes.
I feel called out by myself just now. So. But anyway, guys, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you guys later.
Bye,
Bye, friends.